Live from Eldridge Park here in Orleans, Massachusetts, the Harwich Mariners look to pick up their season-long 4th win of the season as they face off against the Orleans Firebirds for the 2nd time in 2 nights. Good afternoon, folks. Welcome inside the broadcast booth. Tim Foley here alongside my broadcast partner, Devin Dobick. Now, Devin, the Mariners last night were trailing 4-0 thanks to a slew of runs put up by the Firebirds in the 4th inning, but the Mariners were able to come right back and pick up their 3rd straight.
All things considered, it was a great team win. They had 5 errors, and they were still able to score 7 runs, some relentless hitting. They went down 4-0, as mentioned. Tommy Seidel, big 3-run blast, and a much-needed win. They jump into sole 3rd place. Crucial one for the ball club, and hopefully some momentum will be gathered going forward into another big week.
As we have now for you tonight's starting lineups. First for the Harwich Mariners, batting leadoff the second baseman Nick Goodwin. Batting second, the right fielder Tommy Seidel. Batting third, the third baseman Brock Wilkin. Batting cleanup, the designated hitter Joe Vitrano. Batting fifth, the first baseman Hunter Stokely. Batting sixth, the shortstop Kalai Harrison. Batting seventh, the catcher Matt Gussetti. Batting eighth, the left fielder David Smith. And batting ninth, the center fielder out of Cincinnati, Cole Harding. Nick Goodwin stands in as it's going to be Bryce Warricker on the mound for the Orleans Firebirds. He's had quite the season so far here for the Birds as he stands in 6'8", 240 pounds out of Santa Barbara. The first pitch of the ball game is cut on and sliced back to the netting. Count opens at 0-1 to Nick Goodwin. This is the 3rd start of the season for Warricker, his 7th appearance. He's pitched 17 complete to this point, allowed 9 hits. He's struck out 17 to just 3 walks. Has only allowed 1 earned run. Swing and a miss as the count is now 0-2 here to Nick Goodwin.
Goodwin coming off a rare 0-for day yesterday. Had a big home run against Brewster a couple days before, but since then it's been a little different.
That's going to be fought off, foul, and so the count is going to remain here at 0-2. The Orleans defense looks like this. Jacob Stinson's out in left. Travis Honeyman's in center. Isaac Humphrey is in right field. Austin Knight's at third. Nick McCleary's at short. Nate Furman's over at second base. Cam Jones is up at first. And Garrett Guillemette is the catcher here tonight for the Firebirds. As that pitch misses, it's the first ball of the ball game from the hand of Warricker. It's a 1-2 count now. Goodwin stands in, the righty. As you mentioned, 0 for yesterday, trying to get back on track. That's going to pop out of the glove of Guillemette behind home. Nearly connects with Goodwin in the righty batter's box. He'll have to step back out of the way. And the count is now 2-2.
Goodwin, a .260 hitter this season. It's been a nice campaign for him thus far. Very consistent in the top 4 part of that order.
Here's the 2-2. That's in there, called strike 3. Down goes Goodwin. Mickey Garcia rings him up as there's one gone already here in the top of the 1st inning. This brings up Tommy Seidel, the right fielder for the Mariners here tonight. Seidel on the season for the Mariners. Right now batting .247. That's good for 21 of 85 as he stands in now. His second on the team in strikeouts to just Nick Goodwin, who now has 29. He'll chop off the first pitch he sees, and the count is going to open at 0-1. Interesting, so with the departure of Chris Newell, Coach Englert tries to slot Press Kavanaugh back into that 2-hole yesterday, as we saw. It didn't really work out, as you now put Tommy Seidel back up.
I think all things considered, Press had a decent ball game. He went 1 for 3, also got a walk, was on base twice. A big RBI hit, though, in that 3rd at bat, but did punch out twice, which has been his kryptonite all season.
And so Coach Englert opting for Tommy Seidel as the next pitch is going to miss. It's a 2-1 count here with Brock Wilkin on deck. And Seidel, he's trying to return to form that he had earlier in the season where he was really able to let it rip. I remember a sequence of games where he was just constantly hitting extra base hits for the Mariners, and so it hasn't been exactly like that for him recently. He's trying to find that once again. As it's a 2-2 count here to Seidel. Worker stands in. He's already retired one today. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. Down goes Seidel. Back-to-back strikeouts to open up this top half of the first inning, and the Mariners are down to their final out here in the first frame.
Worker's going to shove. We know he's a guy who can pick up strikeouts. That's number 18 and 19 to start him here. That ratio is already above 6-1. Not going to walk a lot of guys.
As Brock Wilkins stands in now.
Harwich is going to have to take advantage of the good pitches they get here, because a guy who doesn't make too many mistakes, typically a reliever, but they're going to try him out here. So if his offense can get ahead, it didn't work yesterday, but maybe at home field in front of the home crowd, it will work better today.
As Brock Wilkins takes a first pitch strike, the count is 0-1 now. Next pitch, that's going to miss. It's now 1-1. So yes, Mariners with the win last night over Orleans, leapfrogging the Firebirds in the standings. Now in third with 25 points. Firebirds now in fourth. They stand pat at 23. The 1-1 pitch misses inside. Count now 2-1.
Wilkin had a multi-hit game yesterday. Very encouraging for him. He was coming off an 0-for as well.
Yeah, Harwich, really, the offense lately has just been stepping up across the board. 7 runs yesterday against Orleans. Of course, and you had 4 against Brewster, but that 11th spot you put up against Katuitt, you're able to match YD with 6, and then you score 5 against YD the night before as well. Offense is really coming along these past few games. As that is cut on and missed. Count now evens at 2-2, and Worker a pitch away from getting out of this inning. Mariners wearing their road blue jerseys with the red numerals. They say Harwich across the front, all trimmed in white with the gray pants. Firebirds in their white pants, white tops with the red sleeves. Here's the 2-2. That's going to be hit left side, picked up by Knight. He'll throw on to first. The throw is high. Brock Wilkins stands on first safely, and that will remain in play, so he's not granted second, but Brock Wilkin on what should have been a routine ground out to third is safe on first now. Mariners have life here still in the first inning.
Looked like Furman tried to rush the play over there, going to first, but Wilkin will take it, get something going here. Maybe it'll rattle the rhythm that we saw Worker get into.
As it's a fresh count here to Joe Vetrano, who stands in. Worker, he's got a man on first now in Wilkin. Here's the pitch. That's going to be fouled off left side, and so we'll do it again at 0-1. Vetrano on the season for the Mariners right now, batting .253. He's been one of the hottest bats right now for Harwich. Right now with an on-base streak of 13. That includes a hit streak of 4 games. The guy who's been consistent here for the Mariners. He's been a huge part of the resurgence of this offense, it feels. As it's an 0-1 count. Worker stands in, stares and delivers. Vetrano cuts on his swing, is able to hold up, and it's now 1-1. On deck, Hunter Stokely. We'll have to see if he gets a chance after Vetrano got a chance after the inning should have ended with a routine ground ball over to third. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss from Vetrano. And it's now a 1-2 count. Worker looking to strike out the side. He's allowed the one man to get on, but even then it was not entirely his fault. Worker stares in, holds, comes set. Here's the pitch. That's going to miss inside. It's now 2-2. Mariners have been doing a much better job of being disciplined at the plate recently. Able to draw season highs and walks against Brewster and Katuitt in recent games, walking 8 times in each. It's impressive what they've been able to accomplish, helping to fuel this offense. Getting on base, not just getting hits, but getting on base. As that's going to be hit over to the right side. Picked up by the second baseman. Throw on to first is in time, and the inning ends. So, The Mariners get a man on, but they can't do anything with it. We'll be back in the bottom of the first inning. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back inside Eldridge Park, the bottom of the first inning here. We're trying to make sure we have an accurate lineup for you. There was a lot of antics pregame, and it's just not been settled. Here's what the Orleans Firebirds lineup looks like supposedly. Batting leadoff, the center fielder, Travis Honeyman. Batting second, the second baseman, Nate Furman. Batting third, the designated hitter, Luke Keeschel. Batting fourth, the right fielder, Isaac Humphrey. Batting fifth, the catcher, Gillimet. Batting sixth, the third baseman, Austin Knight. Batting seventh, the left fielder, Jacob Stinson. Batting eighth, the first baseman, Cam Jones. And batting ninth, the shortstop, Nick McCleary. As there's a slew of people in the way, tough to read the scoreboard. It's a 1-1 count as that one's going to be checked on, but he does not go around. It's a 2-1 count now to Travis Honeyman as he leads off. This season for Orleans, Honeyman, well, he's been batting .299. It's been dropping a bit recently for him. He has been struggling at the plate. As the next pitch is going to miss for a ball. The count is now 3-1. Carlson Reed is on the mound for the Harwich Mariners. This is his fifth start, a 1-1 record, an ERA of 5.19. He's pitched 17 1/3. He's struck out 22, and he's walked 12. Make it 13 as he walks Travis Honeyman down to first base, and the Mariners walk the leadoff man. That was a problem last game out for Reed. Walked 5 batters in his last appearance, and so he's going to look to try to keep that that control well within his control, so to speak. As the next man up is going to be Nate Furman. Furman on the season for Orleans. Right now batting .280. Yesterday against the Mariners, had himself a day, went 3 for 5 with 2 extra base hits, struck out just once. But it was 2 doubles, did come around to score once as well. He had quite the performance, as it was not enough to take down the Mariners, but had himself a day. It's a 1-0 count to him here as Reed delivers the first pitch. Reed comes set, stares in, and continues to look. Here's the next pitch. That's going to miss outside. It's now 2-0.
Reed did have the 10 strikeouts against Chatham, so that was a positive. You're not really sure what you're going to get from him. His control lacks, but he also has big punch-out pitch, a nice breaking ball, Fastball with a nice velocity. Everything can come together for him. Did pick up the first longest outing of 5 innings way back in the beginning of the season.
As Reed will check over on first base, make sure that the base runner and Honeyman stands pat. The defense for the Harwich Mariners looks like this tonight. David Smith gets a look out in left field. Cole Harding's in center. Tommy Seidel's going to be out in right. Brock Wilkins at third base. Kalai Harrison's at short. Nick Goodwin is at second. Hunter Stokely's over at first, and it's Matt Gossetti who's behind home here tonight for the Mariners. As that's in there for a called strike. The count is now 2-1.
Furman can do damage. Had a pair of doubles last night in the loss for the Firebirds.
As Reed stares in with the 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. And that's going to miss. Count is now 3-1. Reed trying to avoid walking his second straight batter to open up the ball game. Would not be an ideal start here for Harwich, as that one comes in, misses up high, and it's ball 4. Back-to-back walks to open things up from Carlson Reed, as Orleans is working early here, getting guys on, and they threaten 2 on, no gone. And Luke Keischel steps up to bat, the designated hitter.
Reed, this kind of reminds me of his last start against Chatham. That first inning was disastrous for him. 4 runs surrendered, but after that he locked in, struck out 10, and Chatham didn't score the rest of the ball game. So here he's in a jam in the first inning. Let's see if he's able to rebound like he was back in that day, so his team has a chance. Still no runs on the board yet.
Reed stares in, facing off against Keischel now. Again, as mentioned, Keischel on the season for the Firebirds. Generally wearing number 9. He's wearing 17 tonight for one reason or another. Batting .293 on the season, as it's a 1-0 count here to the batter in Luke Keischel. Isaac Humphrey stands on deck right now. Reed comes set. Looks back towards second briefly. Wind blowing out toward right field. Here's the pitch. That misses well high. And the count is now 2-0. Beautiful night here tonight in Orleans. Hardly a cloud in sight. The sun particularly brutal, as it always is here in the press box. As Reed looks back towards second, the 2-0. That misses high. It's a 3-0 count now.
The one great thing about this ballpark, though, is all the seats we see. We get to the ballpark a couple hours early, and people have their chairs like there's some sort of parade going on. Come out early in the morning, 8 a.m., set their spot for the Firebirds games on home nights.
Here's a 3-0, and that's going to be in for a called strike. Keischel thought he had ball 4, but Mickey Garcia will have him walk back to the batter's box. Reed, a ground ball does you a lot of good, but yes, people always come out early and often for their seats, as there's ball 4. So Carlson Reed has now walked to the bases loaded. He's not done himself any favors here in this bottom of the first inning, as the Orleans Firebirds now have him loaded for Isaac Humphrey. Humphrey on the season, batting .291. A number of Firebirds batting up in the 290s. He's got 4 RBI in the season, a chance for more here if he can put a good swing on the ball, as that's immediately going to force a conversation now from pitching coach Steve Rosen. He'll head out on the mound. A couple of other games going on across the Cape Cod Baseball League here tonight. The YD Red Sox lead the Bourne Braves 4-0. Catuit leads Wareham 4-0 as well. Brewster's up against Falmouth 3-2. And then Chatham hosts Hyannis in about 11 minutes over at Veterans Field. That'll be a 7 o'clock first pitch. Chatham trying to keep pace here in the East. 19 points right now. They are 2 games back of Orleans for that 4th and final playoff spot. It's much closer out in the West than it is out here in the East, as that's in for a called strike. First pitch, which is into Isaac Humphrey, the right fielder here for the Firebirds. Here's the pitch. That misses outside. And so, count is now 1-1 to Humphrey.
Just 4 strikes for Carlson Reed across. Now this will be the 18th pitch he's thrown.
That's going to be hit foul right down the third base line. Brock Wilkin fields it, but nothing to do with it. And yes, we've just talked about it ad nauseum almost, but it's just not been great what we've seen control-wise from Carlson Reed. And that story has continued here today, as he's already issued 3 walks, and he's got the Mariners in a bind early. This ball's going to be chopped back foul. So the count is 1-2. Harwich not trailing quite yet, but the bases loaded here, nobody gone. It is a 1-2 count to Humphrey. That ball's going to be hit left side, picked up by Kalai Harrison. He'll throw on to first in time. They're able to get the first out of the inning, but the Firebirds do strike first. Travis Honeyman comes home to score, and it's a 1-0 ball game here from Eldridge Park. Orleans out in front.
Nice job by Humphrey to just put it in play, hit it soft enough so it didn't get doubled up, and got the run in. Now, no forced play, accepted first, and you got 2 more runners in scoring position with 2 outs to work with.
As Garrett Guillemette comes up to bat, the catcher for Orleans. He'll take a first pitch ball. Guillemette on the season batting .235. That's 8 of 34. Does have 5 RBI on the season. He'll take another pitch for a ball. The count here is 2-0. Reed comes set. Here's the pitch. That's going to be flown out towards center field. Going back for it is Harding. He'll make the catch. Throw to the plate is going to cut off the base runner. And Nate Furman, he will not go home. So Cole Harding, nice piece of defense there, able to charge in at it. And ultimately is able to prevent a run from coming home. Keeps it a 1-0 game.
Got a bad read on it originally, took a couple steps back, then charged it and made a running catch and a great throw to the plate. Nothing happens. Huge out for Carlson Reed that keeps the runners in place.
So this now brings up number 32 for the Firebirds, who again, it's not exactly been Kelly Nicholson's best day getting the lineup in. Logan Beard wearing number 32, supposedly. Batting .152 right now, 5 of 33. 1 RBI, 2 walks, and 13 strikeouts on the season. Count right now even at 1-1. Next pitch is going to miss, and it's a 2-1 count. Carlson Reed's just been really worked here in this first inning. He's thrown a great deal of pitches, now up to 26. That's the 27th, and it misses. And the count is now 3-1.
Beard already made an error tonight, made a big error last game. Excuse me, the defensive still messing with me. Last game had a big error that brought in an unearned run, which would ultimately go on to hurt the Firebirds.
It's now a full count here to the batter in Beard. Read the pitch. Called strike 3. That ends the inning. Carlson Reed gives up a run after he walks the bases full, but he's able to help strand 2. And so we head to the top of the second. Orleans is up by 1. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Back with you inside of Eldridge Park. Hunter Stokely leads it off for the Harwich Mariners, as Harwich only got a man on in the top of the first inning, didn't get anything going. Meanwhile, Orleans was able to strike first in the bottom of the first, so Harwich trails here early as Hunter Stokely stands in, takes a first pitch, swings and misses, and the count opens at 0-1. Stokely on the season for the Mariners, batting 143. As that's going to be fouled off right at home. Count is now going to move to 0-2. Has not been the greatest showing for Stokely offensively while he's been here on the Cape. As Warwickers back out there for his second inning of work. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, and down goes Stokely. Swinging. So, Warwicker, that's now his third strikeout of the evening.
He's locked in. You knew you were going to get this from him. Likes to throw punch outs, and Stokely, a guy who's been struggling, goes down again there. He's mowing through this Mariners lineup right now. Only blip was when Brock Wilkin reached on the error. Since then, nothing doing. Let's see what Kalai Harrison can do. He got bumped up in the order quite a bit.
As Harrison now is batting sixth, was ninth yesterday. Got on with a walk as he'll fly this one out toward shallow left field. That'll be caught by the shortstop McCleary, and there's now two gone.
It's very difficult too on Carlson Reed. If Matt Cassetti goes down quickly here, then their pitcher is going to have no time to rest in between innings. Just had a very long top half, or bottom half rather, and so having to return right back out there after an inefficient inning is going to be difficult.
First pitch misses for a ball, and the count opens at 1-0 here to Gassetti. Gassetti, recent transfer to Alabama, batting 152 on the season, 5 of 33. He'll hit this one. That'll be picked up by the third baseman. Throw on to first is in time, and the inning ends. A quick inning of work defensively for Orleans. They still lead it 1-0. We'll be back. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back inside Eldridge Park. A 1-0 lead for Orleans as Carlson Reed's back out there. It's his second inning of work. It's Jacob Stinson who leads off the bottom of the second inning for Orleans. Reed, he walked the first three batters of the ball game as he'll deliver the 0-1 pitch in for a ball. Now it's 1-1. Proceeded to get A ground out, a fly out to center, and then struck out Austin Knight. But Orleans was able to get a run in on that ground out over to short, as that's going to be it for a called strike. The count is now 1-2.
That mound visit from Coach Rosen must have been pivotal because Reed seemed to lock in after that, was able to get out of the inning with just one run given up.
That skips in the dirt, and the count moves to 2-2. And you talked about it a bit last inning, Devin. We'll have to see if Reed's able to settle back in his now second inning of work after kind of like his last start. He had a poor first inning, but he was able to keep it dialed. As that's going to run in and hit the foot of Jacob Stinson. So that will put him on base, and for the second time in 2 innings here to open up the ball game, Jacob Stinson and the Orleans Firebirds have a man on first.
Not a good sign to see him drill one in the dirt there, hit a batter. See how he can respond, though. This is going to test him for sure. Bottom of the order, these are outs you have to get. Cam Jones pitched last night, a two-way guy. Need to find a way to retire him, not let him get over to first base with a free pass.
As that's going to run in on him. Don't believe it got him. He got the bat. So the count here opens at 0-1. Boy, nearly got a piece of him, but since it got the bat, Jones, nothing to show for it but a strike against him. Last night, Jones pitched 2 1/3, allowed 3 hits, just 1 run, walked 1 batter, and did strike out 3. Not a poor outing, as that one's going to be hit on the ground, right side. That'll be dived after, picked up by Goodwin, but he's unable to throw it on to first. So that's going to be an infield single from Cam Jones as he helps to advance Stinson up to second. An impressive diving catch made, but ultimately not able to get it up in time to make the throw over to first, try to get Jones. This will bring up now Nick McCleary, the shortstop here for the Firebirds.
Placed it perfectly. They were in double play depth. He sent it right through the 5-3 hole. 4-3 hole, excuse me. That's all you can ask for. Slow chopper does the job.
Reed looks back at second base. Here's the pitch. Bunt shown, and that will miss for a ball. So second straight inning that Orleans has gotten the first 2 men on here. Harwich did come back last night, but runs weren't even scored until, well, I guess it was the second inning. Harwich wasn't really in a hole until the 4th. And that's one of the things that's really impressive to see come along this season for Harwich is late inning offense, comeback offense, as that bunt's going to be laid right down the third base line. Gassetti's throw to third. Did they get him? No. Bases are loaded here as McCleary lays down a nice bunt, forces a throw to the third, and Stinson's able to beat it out. So once again, Orleans, second straight inning to open up the ball game. They get the bases loaded, nobody gone.
And this is going to be on Wilkin. He was not expecting the throw, did not have his foot on the bag. So when Gassetti got him the ball, it wasn't on the bag. Might have beat him, could have had him out. Just not ready for it. Should be an error on Brock, but I believe it might be credited with a hit.
We'll see. Nothing's been credited yet. We'll give it a moment as Travis Honeyman stands in now, back to the top of the order here for Orleans. First pitch is in for a strike, and the count opens at 0-1. Honeyman in his last at-bat walked. He was the 1 run to come across for the Firebirds. Still neither a hit nor an error credited, as that's going to be hit right back up the middle. That's going to get through. That's going to bring home 1. 2 runs come home. It's 3-0 Orleans. A single right back up the middle from Travis Honeyman. He's on for the second time tonight, and he's now got 2 RBI to his name. Orleans is cooking here. It's 3-0 Firebirds, bottom of the second.
Travis Honeyman needed that one. Had a liner up the middle in the last game against Harwich, but that one does a little more damage. They jump out to a 3-0 lead, and they officially called that a sacrifice, so will not be awarded any sort of at-bat for McCleary.
As now Nate Furman stands in. Walked in his last at-bat. He shows bunt. That was laid briefly down the first baseline before bouncing foul, and the count is now 0-1 here. Again, Furman, he walked in his last at-bat. The Firebirds have had now 7 base runners in this game on just 2 hits. Not ideal if you're Harwich. You really haven't been letting guys beat you like that, in the sense that you're beating yourself by not allowing your defense to help things out of here a bit, but yeah, it's been a struggle early here for Reed. Stares in, it's an 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Bunt laid down right in front of home plate. Reed picks it up, can't get it cleanly off the ground, and so everybody's safe. Bases are loaded once again for a chance here for Luke Kiesel to do some damage. Honeyman now up to second. McCleary's down to third, and Furman stands on first. Or pardon, I'm guessing it's Knight.
Just ugly baseball. Reed already up above 40 pitches, and they are just struggling to get outs. A lot of rinky-dink hits, getting on to first base when you shouldn't. Orleans capitalizing on mistakes, which is what they failed to do last night. Harwich made a season-high 5 errors, and Orleans still couldn't pull off the win.
Yeah, tied the season high for errors in a ball game by a ball club, as that's going to be laced right back over to second, picked up by Goodwin. Throw on to first is in time. They record the out, but that does help to drive home another run for Orleans. So Nick McCleary comes home. That makes it a 4-0 Firebirds lead here in the bottom of the second inning, as Honeyman's now down to third base. Up to bat now, Isaac Humphrey. That misses high, and the count opens at 1-0. So Honeyman's over on third. As Humphrey stands in here. Orleans trying to threaten, see if they can't get another one. It's a 2-0 count.
Humphrey grounded out to shortstop in his last at-bat. He was the first of 3 outs in the first inning.
This ball's popped up, out of play. It's a 2-2 count now. One misses up high. It's now a 3-1. So it was a double play from Kiesel that he grounded into. That retired 2 batters, so there's 2 gone in the inning. Chance here for Reed to get out of the inning, having given up the 3 runs. And that's going to miss. Ball 4. So it is going to be now the 4th walk of the ball game from Carlson Reed.
And with that, he's now tied for the league lead in walks. Tied with Boucher of the Cotuit Cavaliers, who pitched against Harwich not too long ago. They share that. His control's just not been there. Really unfortunate. This is 5th start, so averaging about 3 walks a game.
That ball's going to be cracked out toward left field. That's going back, and that is gone. A 3-run shot from Garrett Guillemette puts Orleans up. It's now 7-0 Firebirds.
This is getting out of hand quickly for Reed. By far his worst start of the season, and he's only 1 2/3 through it. Credit to the Orleans Firebirds. They are making it hurt when Harwich has made errors. Look at this. 4 walks, you hit a man, a couple bunts that get runners on, and that's why it's 7-0. Harwich got to tighten it up.
As Beard comes up to bat, a conversation on the mound now as Matt Gossetti comes up to have a talk with Reed. Can't imagine the leash is going to be too long at this point for Reed. See if and when Engler decides to go to him, or to the bullpen. Not sure who the Mariners may have warming at the moment. Not the greatest vantage point here along the third base line, but pretty much behind home plate, much of our view obstructed by the Mariners dugout, as Coach Englert is going to come out, and it looks like this is going to be the day for Carlson Reed. A new pitcher into the ball game. We'll introduce him on the other side and recap the day for Reed when we return. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back to Eldridge Park. Tim Foley and Devin Dobick with you as Logan Beard is up to bat. Beard on the night. He is 0 for 1 with a strikeout back in the first. He's the 9th Firebird to come up to bat in this inning. They have batted through the lineup as Cameron Mayer is the new pitcher on the mound for the Harwich Mariners. Swing and a miss, and the count is 0-2 here to Logan Beard. Reed, his night looked like this: an inning and 2/3, allowed 4 hits, 7 runs, walked 4 batters, and struck out just 1. Here's the pitch. That misses outside. It's a 1-2 count now. Mayer on the season. He looks like this, his stat line. 0-1 record, 7.26 ERA. This is his 4th appearance, as that is going to hit Logan Beard. Mickey Garcia indicating foul when it had connected with the batter. So Beard will head down to first despite the miscommunication. And this now brings up Jacob Stinson.
Firebirds have batted around. Stinson started the inning. He was hit by a pitch as well. Came around to score.
Mayer, here's the pitch. That misses outside, and the count is now 1-0. So for Mayer, he's trying to settle back in. Had a rough outing back on the 4th of July against the Brewster Whitecaps. Got rung up on that day as his next pitch comes in for a called strike. Count here is 1-1. But on that day, Mayer, his first start of the season, through 2 2/3, gave up 6 hits, 6 earned runs. Walked just 1, struck out 4. Stares in on the 1-1. And for a called strike, it's a 1-2 count now.
To his credit, though, he wasn't expecting to start. Billy Seidel was supposed to start that ball game. He got the call. That was his first start of the season. Came in, couple strike 3 calls didn't go his way, and it was just a forgettable outing for the entire ball club.
Here's the pitch. That misses down low, and it looks like that hit him. So, Logan Beard, he will head down to second as Jacob Stinson once again gets hit in the feet. And the Mariners cannot get out of their own way. Cameron Mayer's hit the 2 batters he's faced so far.
Third hit batsman. They are well on their way to another abysmal game unless something turns around and quickly when they come back in the top half.
So it's now Cam Jones up to bat, singled earlier in this inning. He's already come around a scorer as well here in this inning for Orleans. He'll take a first pitch strike. The count opens at 0-1. Mayer rocks and delivers. That's going to be popped up over toward the Orleans dugout. And that's going to land out of play. So the count here now 0-2, and Mayer a pitch away once again from getting out of the inning here. We'll see if he's able to pull it off. He's hit the last 2 batters he's faced. Stinson's been hit twice in this inning alone.
Yeah, tough day at the office, eh? Getting hit twice in 1 inning. I guess you'll take the 7-run lead, but not a fun way to get on.
Mayer stares back. Here's the 0-2. That misses outside. It's a 1-2 count now. Now, we've seen Harwich come back in recent games, but a 7-run deficit, it remains to be seen whether or not Harwich is going to be able to come back here tonight.
It would take a lot, especially the way the momentum seems. The demeanor is just down.
As that's going to be fought off, foul. Count here is 1-2.
We've mentioned it a million times. Baseball, at least half mental. So if you're going in down 7 runs, just deflated, that's contagious. And you go up, it's going to be hard to string together runs when you're in that bad mood.
Certainly so. As it's a 1-2 count. Here's the pitch. Misses outside. It's 2-2. Mariners have walked 4 batters. They've hit 3. They've only given up on the night 4 hits to this point. They trail it 7-0. 4 hits through the first 2. I say that lightly, but that's a lot. Here's the pitch. And misses down low. The count's run full here. 3-2 to Cam Jones.
And Tim, I think to your credit, you said it in the light as 4 hits in the fact that we have seen, what's this, 16 batters already in the ball game, and they've put up 7 runs.
Yes.
So that's kind of the absurd part.
That's going to be hit left side, and that's going to be a base hit. They'll wave around the runner in Stinson. He'll come home to score. And so, or pardon, no, Logan Beard comes home from second. Excuse me, Stinson's all the way up to third now. And Orleans keeps it rolling. So, Beard, it's the first time tonight he's come home to score. There are now just 2 Firebirds here tonight who have not scored a run. Stinson's up to third, and Cam Jones stands on first. Nick McCleary comes up to bat now as he offered a sacrifice bunt in his last at-bat earlier this inning that resulted in nobody getting out. First pitch is in there for a called strike from Cameron Mayer. If Travis Honeyman is able to get up to bat, as he currently stands on deck, it would be the 3rd time in this game he's come up to bat. Meanwhile, David Smith and Cole Harding for the Mariners are still yet to record a plate appearance. That's foul tip back into the mid of Matt Cassetti. It's an 0-2 count. But this is how the count opened up to Cam Jones. We then saw him work a full count and then lace one out into left. So we'll see if Mayer is able to lock it down this time around. He's given up the 1 run here in this inning, charged to himself as he got a clean slate. Garrett Guillemette cleaned the bases for him with a 3-run shot out to left. Swing and a miss, and the inning ends. Finally, for Harwich, they give up a whopping 7 runs here in the 2nd inning. They trail it 8-0. We head to the top of the 3rd. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. We bring you back inside Eldridge Park as David Smith coming up to bat for just the first time here tonight. Meanwhile, Orleans has already batted through their lineup twice. Travis Honeyman will lead it off in the bottom of the second for Orleans for his third at-bat. He's come up to bat once in every inning so far, as that's in for a first pitch called strike to David Smith. 5 hits in the bottom of the second inning. That is the season high for a team to be hitting against the Harwich Mariners. Orleans tied the high mark of 4 hits in an inning back in the 4th inning yesterday, but 5 here in the second takes the cake. As it's a 1-1 pitch, that's going to be hit on the ground left side, and that eats up Nick McCleary. So David Smith is going to be safe on first, and the Mariners, well, they take the first step towards coming back. They get the man on first.
That's what really separates White House Field from everything else. What a horrible hop it takes on the shortstop. Should be a routine play. Just as it gets to the lip, it jumps up. And they're going to score David Smith a single for that because of how bad that hop was.
As this brings up Cole Harding. Yes, White House Field, generally excellent field conditions. Players often singing its praises. As, again, Harding up for just the first time here tonight. Reed was out there for an awful long time here tonight. As first pitch into Harding is in for a called strike. Cole Harding on the season, batting 137. He's not had the greatest bat. He's been in and out of the lineup. Trying to find some consistency at the plate. And so hit this one on the ground left side. Picked up by McCleary. Throw on to first is going to miss the mark again. Another throw over to first base that just misses. And I don't think it's a coincidence. I mean, that sun is right behind first right now. I have to imagine it's tough for these infielders to try and pick it out. So they do get the lead runner in Smith to go down. But there's only one gone, and the Mariners still have a man on first.
It's been so peculiar. We've seen a lot of airmail. Even yesterday there was a few airmails on both sides. Just some things off, and you're very right, Tim. It very well could be that sun just distracting them. They can't see where they're going with it.
First pitch seen by Nick Goodwin's going to be fought off, and the count opens at 0-1. Nick Goodwin struck out looking to open up the ball game. Snapped an on-base streak last night, Nick Goodwin, as he was unable to get on. Of course, had that big on-base streak to open up his season, as this will be hit on the ground, back up the middle. Throw on to first from McCleary is on target. They're able to get the base runner this time in Goodwin. And so Cole Harding does advance down to second base. They don't bother to try to go for him. But the Mariners have 2 outs against them here in this top of the third.
Tommy Seidel, interesting night for him it was last night. Struck out 3 times, but had that 3-run jack. That was huge. Turning point in the game for the Mariners, arguably one of the biggest reasons they won.
Got them back to within 1. Helped to fuel that comeback, as he'll take a first pitch strike. Struck out swinging back in the second inning. After that 3-run inning in the 4th from Seidel with his blast, Mariners got some contributions from the bottom third of their lineup. A double from O'Donnell, a single from Arndt, a walk from Harrison, and then they all each came around to score. So you'll have to see that. Guys who are new contributing. Seidel stands in. It's a 0-1 count to him here. And when they make up a third of your lineup, you need the bottom portion of your lineup to be able to contribute. As it's now a 1-1 count here to Seidel. Worker, this is 3rd inning of work. He's done a nice job so far. This is just the 11th batter he's faced here through 2 2/3. Here's the pitch. And misses outside, counts 2-1. On deck, Brock Wilkin reached on an error. He was the only man to reach through the first 2 innings for Harwich. As that was the other throw that was airmailed over to first base. Time going to be called here, and so we'll take a moment and we'll do it again.
Seidel, one of the longest tenured Mariners, just lost his brother who's getting ready for the draft, and Billy. But we'll see what Tommy can do. Big leadership role in the ball club, and he's been holding down the outfield. Brings a lot to this team. Very motivational, hypes all his guys up. Team first guy, and that's what you need.
Yeah, I mean, one of, if not the oldest Mariner. Born all the way back in 97, October 20th, 97. Nobody else born back in 97. As this is going to be hit on the ground, left side, that's going to be foul, and we'll do it again. It's a 2-2 count. In fact, nobody else even born in the 20th century for the Harwich Mariners. Tommy Seidel in a class of his own. 4 years at Harvard, transferred to Alabama, had a fine season with the Crimson Tide, found his way up here to Harwich. Was living with Billy while they were both here in the same host family house. Here's the pitch. That's fought off, remains 2-2.
Good at bat here for him. He's going to get his 6th pitch. Seems really locked in up there. A guy who's never going to say die. Right in the heart of the order. Let's see if he can put Harwich in the board, maybe pick up a little steam for him.
Seidel taps on home, comes and is now in the batter's box here. Worker comes set, stares in, here's the pitch. That's going to miss inside, so the count runs full here. It's now 3-2.
Big pitch coming up for him. Brock Wilken on deck. If you can get him up to the plate, a guy who can change this deficit with one swing of the bat, extend the inning, why not?
3-2 pitch. That'll be chopped off, back foul. That'll head out of play, and so it's a 3-2 count once again here. Again, yes, Seidel putting together a nice at-bat, probably the nicest of the game we've seen. Nobody's really put up that much of a fight here for Warwicker, who on the night, he's just thrown 40 pitches. It's up to 41 right now. Next one's set to be 42. Trying to go through 3 complete here on this next pitch, looking for strikeout number 4. Hasn't struck anybody out this inning. He's struck out batters in each the first and the second. Here's the pitch. And that's going to miss. Ball 4. On to first now is Tommy Seidel. So that will keep the inning alive. Cole Harding still on second base, and Brock Wilken has a chance to help the Mariners dig back into this Firebirds lead.
It's a big-time AB right there for Tommy Seidel. Working that pitcher. Took 8 pitches to get him over to first base. Continued to pester him. And we know Warwicker does not walk too many people. That's just his 4th walk all season. So for Tommy Seidel to make him work just shows you the kind of grit and mentality he brings each and every at-bat, no matter the score.
Here's the pitch to Brock Wilken. He'll pop it up. Foul that will head well out of play, and the count opens at 0-1. Wilken on the night reached on an error back in the first inning. He was the first Mariner to get on base after Goodman and Seidel each struck out to open up the ball game. And he stands in now. Brock Wilken, he has a rather stand-up stance. He really does not bend his knees all that much when he's in the box. Here's the pitch. That's going to miss for a ball. It's now 1-1. I mean, he'll bend his knees once the pitch comes in, but he really just stands in there.
Loves to load up. You can see him really break it down when that pitcher goes into his windup.
Here's the pitch. That misses high. It's a 2-1 count now. Mariners trying to continue to work Warwicker here. Wilken trying to extend things for Joe Vitrano, who stands on deck. Grounded out to second in his last at-bat. Here's the pitch. That's going to miss, and that's going to be another ball. It's a 3-1 count now here to Wilken.
And you got Joe Vitrano on deck, a favorable matchup for him. Lefty coming in against the righty and Warwicker. Wilken can load the bases. Vitrano puts together a nice at-bat. Mariners, this game far from over.
Warwicker stares in. The pitch. That'll miss high, ball 4. That loads the bases. So Harding advances down to third base. Up to second now, Tommy Seidel, and Brock Wilkin is on for the second time today.
It's his ball club high 10th walk of the season. Very patient hitter, strikes out a decent amount, but does his job once again, gets down to first. Now we'll bring out the pitching coach.
Especially impressive when you consider that he missed 9 games due to departing to Team USA, Wilkin. So I think that he really is patient in there. His reputation precedes him a bit, I'm sure. As now Joe Vitrano stands in with Hunter Stokely on deck. Conversation on the mound here. Firebirds still breaking it down atop the mound. Pitching coach will depart now, and so the at-bat soon to commence. Gillimet comes back behind home. Mariners trying to get something going here. Yes, an 8-run lead. That is daunting. Mariners have not scored 8 or more very often this season. Did have one just the other night. They scored 11 against Katuitt. As Warwicker comes set, delivers the first pitch, hit on the ground, right side. Picked up by the second baseman. And Beard, throw on to first, is in time, and the inning ends. The Mariners leave them loaded. They're still down 8-0. We'll be back. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Travis Honeyman leads it off for the Orleans Firebirds in the bottom half of the third inning. He's up to bat for the third time in his many innings. He is a 1-for-1 on the day. Walked back in the first, single in the second, and he's already come home to score twice. He makes up 25% of these Firebird runs. 8-0 lead for Orleans. Cameron Mayer's back out there. His first full inning of work came in after Carlson Reed had a tough outing to open up the ball game. As the first pitch into Honeyman misses. It's a ball. It's a 1-0 count. Here's the pitch to Honeyman. That will miss as well. It's a 2-0 count now. Mayer hit the first 2 batters he saw. Allowed a single to Cam Jones to bring home Logan Beard, and then struck out Nick McCleary to finally end the inning for Harwich. As that misses as well. It's a 3-0 count here to Nick McCleary from Cameron Mayer.
Control's just been such an issue tonight, huh, Tim? I mean, these Harwich pitchers can't find it. There's another walk there. That is number 5.
Ball 4 really not even close. 2 easy takes for Travis Honeyman as he's now on for the third time tonight. Second time he's gotten on to lead off an inning. Third time the leadoff man's gotten on for Orleans. We can keep going. As Nate Furman now stands up to bat. He's gotten on twice so far here tonight. Walked back in the first, singled back in the second. He's yet to come across a score. However, he is one of 2 Firebirds, who managed to not score back in that second inning. Stranded on third back in the first, and then he was cut down at second on a double play that was initiated by Luke Keischel. First pitch into Furman is in for a called strike, and the count opens at 0-1.
Furman, a guy that takes his time to get set in the box. Sometimes frustrating, Mayor, as we just saw a pitch ago.
Here's the pitch. And for another called strike. Count is now 0-2. Mayer, he's struck out one batter here tonight in Nick McCleary. That was back to end of the second inning. That was the second time through the lineup for Orleans here on the night. It's got everybody getting their third hacks in now for the Firebirds, as that'll be fought off. It's foul. Count is 0-2 here, still to Furman.
Just get outs. I mean, the damage has already been done. Throw strikes, let your defense play. Don't try and pitch around batters. Just get your offense back up. Let your defense make plays.
Mayer comes set. Stares in. Here's the pitch. Runner goes. Hit on the ground right side. That's going to get through. No, Nick Goodwin had a chance at it, but he bobbled it on the field attempt, and so that's going to be an infield single to keep things going here for Orleans. First two have gotten on. Honeyman's now up to second base, while Luke Keischel comes up to bat now. He is the only other Firebird yet to score here tonight. Got on as far as second base back in the first inning after he got on with a walk, but as mentioned, he hit into that 4-3 double play. That back in the second inning. Took Harwich a while to be able to record that third out, as after that double play they allowed the next 5 batters to get on base. So the count here is 0-1. Mayer stares in. Comes set. Holds glove about waist height. Here's the pitch. That misses for a ball. Count is 1-1.
Much smaller zone than we saw last night. Very generous zone that Mike Furtado had at White House Field. Home plate umpire Garcia has had a much tighter zone, even despite the large score.
That's going to miss for a ball as well. It's a 2-1 count.
All these pitches missing by what's got to be an inch or two. Very close.
Yeah, it's not by much, that's for certain.
And Mayer does not like that. This happened back with Jason Klump and Brewster. He missed a few strike calls, and that's when Mayer's really went to heck.
Swing and a miss. Count will even out at 2. Keischel, chance to do more damage here for Orleans. Firebirds trying to tie Harwich in the standings if they're able to pull out a win here tonight. As that one ends up missing for a ball, it's a 3-2 count.
Mariners in jeopardy of losing that 3-game win streak. They've also got a 7-game point streak that's at stake.
Mayer trying to strike out the batter in Keischel. Would be his second of the night. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Down goes Keischel. First out of the inning. Second strikeout for Cameron Mayer. There's one gone for now Isaac Humphrey with runners on first and second. And yeah, you mentioned it, Devin, that this is a 7-game point streak now for the Mariners. And you have to imagine that, you know, if they're not going to be able to come back in this one, or at least you have to hope if you're a Harwich Mariners fan that it's not going to send the team in some sort of tailspin here. I mean, this has not been pretty whatsoever. The offense has been getting on base. They threatened Worker back in that third, as that one's going to be fought off. Count opens at 0-1. But just the fact that it's 8-0 puts that much more urgency on the offense to really get it going. I mean, we'll see just how much that is able to impact the team's mentality. First here tonight, and then depending on how the game plays out the rest of the week. At home against Wareham tomorrow. That'll be a 6:30 first pitch. Mayer stares back towards second. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that's in there for a strike. So the count right now 0-2. Mayer, he's looking for back-to-back strikeouts. If he can pull it off, would be his third of the night. Stares back towards second. Here's the pitch. That'll be rifled over toward the Orleans dugout. And the count remains 0-2.
Just got to settle in. Orleans has scored in both innings already. They're threatening here. If you can find a way to get outs, get your team back up, give yourself a chance. There's plenty of baseball left.
Still an 0-2 count. Mayer stares back towards second. The pitch. And again, fouled off. That'll be fouled back to the backstop. And we'll do it again at 0-2. But you got to start to see some kind of production from the offense. You have the 5, 6, 7 hitters coming up. Stokely, Harrison, and Gassetti. Next half inning for the Mariners in the top of the fourth. It's not the heart of your order, as you just went through that with nothing doing. But you guys are going to have to step up. That's what it takes to come back in a game like this. So it shouldn't matter who's coming up to bat next if you're Harwich. As count right now is 1-2 as the 0-2 misses. Mayer again, he has allowed a good amount of base runners here tonight. 5 out of the 7 he's faced have gotten on. And that's going to be a balk. Cameron Mayer, I think he tripped on the mound. That'll advance everybody an extra 90 feet. Honeyman down to third, Nate Furman up to second. I'm not sure what that was.
Kind of just the story of the ball game is what it was. Bit of a weird movement from Mayer, uncharacteristic, and moves everybody up 90 feet, gets rid of the double play, and now you really got to pitch to Isaac Humphrey.
So 1-2 count to Humphrey. Here's the pitch. That's going to be lined out toward left, and that's going to be caught by David Smith. He'll throw it in, and that's going to be not nearly in time, as Travis Honeyman now has scored in 3 innings here tonight. And we're in the 3rd inning. Nate Furman stays put over at second base. Meanwhile, Isaac Humphrey has an RBI to his name as he's able to drive in Honeyman on a sac fly out to left. This brings up Garrett Guillemette, a man who's already done damage against the Mariners here tonight, as it's a 9-0 lead now for Orleans. Guillemette had that 3-run shot back in the second, back last inning. That's popped up right side. Underneath it, Seidel makes the catch, and the inning ends. Orleans tacks on another run. It's now 9-0 Firebirds. Top of the 4th we go. We'll be back. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back inside Eldridge Park. Tim Foley and Devin Dobick along with you for play-by-play duties for the next 3 innings. My broadcast partner, Devin Dobick. Devin.
Thank you, Tim. Mariners looking up quite the mountain. It's 9-0 here at Eldridge Park. The home crowd loves it, but if you're a Mariners fan, it's a tough one. Hunter Stokely, Kalai Harrison, and Matt Gassetti due up 5-6-7. Stokely behind in the count, 0-1 to start things. He struck out back in the second. Warwicker still out there, and why wouldn't he be? He has been dominant. Surrendered just 1 hit to the Mariners thus far. Only a couple base runners. Got out of a bases loaded jam in the 3rd inning. After back-to-back walks he issued in a single.
Yeah, and I mean, Harwich, I think, did a good job of getting to him a bit in the 3rd inning, but just the lack of offense so far is really heightened by the fact that the Mariners are down by 9.
This one will catch a piece of the babe, as he's called. So Hunter Stokely will walk down to first after being hit by a pitch. Mariners get the leadoff runner on for just the 2nd time here tonight.
Yeah, he's good at that. Hunter Stokely, he knows how to get on base. He's a guy who, despite his woes batting just 143, his on-base percentage 375. He finds ways to get on.
It has been that kind of weird season for him. And 2 of those 3 hits came against Bourne way back when, a week and a half, maybe 2 weeks ago. As first pitch to Kalai Harrison is fouled off to the left. It's 0-1. Harrison has popped out to the shortstop, Nick McCleary, here tonight. Still searching for his first Harwich Mariners hit. Native of Kailua, Hawaii. As count is now evened at 1. Playing shortstop tonight, had a pair of errors last night, so trying to shake off that performance as he's right back at it here this time. It's 2-1 to him, ahead in the count. 9-0 Firebirds lead. Stokely over at first. Matt Gassetti on deck, scheduled to hit. Let's see how much fire this Harwich team can bring despite the deficit. Plenty of ball game. This one is chopped over to second, fielded by Beard. He goes on to first for just the 1. So Harrison gets Stokely down to second, but at his own expense, and there's 1 away.
And I mean, it's something you'll take for now if you're Harwich, this sort of small ball approach where you're able to move guys up. Obviously, Harrison trying to go for more, but the fact that you're still able to get something out of his retiring second to first, you take that for now and get guys moving around the base paths to some extent. See what you can do to continue to try to shorten Warwicker's day.
Brings up Matt Gassetti. He grounded out to third back in the 2nd inning, just his 2nd at-bat here. We're into the 4th inning. Mariners still not on the scoreboard. They have just the 1 hit here tonight compared to 6 for the Firebirds. Gassetti lifts this one out to center field. Honeyman is ranging back, and he's under it. Deep outfield out there, and he'll fire it in. No advancement from Stokely. Looked like Matt got a good piece of that one, but a fence that is 434 feet to dead center field never had a chance to be more than routine for Honeyman.
Yeah, I mean, it's crazy to think the difference between some of the eastern ballparks. 434 thereabouts to dead center. Meanwhile, it's only about 352 to dead center in YD. 80 feet, the difference. That is unbelievable.
There's a chance that one would have been a wall ball or more if we're playing at YD. First pitch now to David Smith, misses outside for ball 1. He is the only Mariner with a hit, and to be completely honest, bit of a gift. Had the help of the field, took a bad hop, should have been a routine play. As count is now evened up at 1 to David Smith, the Yukon Husky. He's making his first start in the outfield for the Mariners this season. Traditionally an infielder, but with Press Kavanaugh taking a seat on the bench tonight, he moves out to left. So had a lot more preparation to go through all the outfield plays and things like that. Shifts, chops this one foul down the right side. And for Smith, made a nice catch back in the last inning. Travis Honeyman was able to score, but those line drives that are scorched at you are so hard to read out in the outfield. So credit to Smith for making the play. Doing whatever he can to hold it down out there.
Yeah, can be tough. Again, as you put it, whenever you're switching out infield to outfield, sometimes you might expect some bumps, but so far so good from him.
1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. This is grounded up the middle and fielded on off-body throw by Beard. Not in time. It's another infield single for David Smith, and it puts runners at the corners as Stokely gets down to third. There's 2 away for the 9-hitter Cole Harding.
Yeah, Smith, he's just proving to be more and more of an offensive weapon here for Harwich. I mean, he's been having himself a nice couple of games recently. Didn't do much yesterday as he was picked off over at first base in his brief appearance, as he was then subbed out for Hunter Stokely in the designated hitting role. But other than that, he's doing a nice job getting on base when he's in the lineup.
Yeah, he was pinch running, got picked off, and that was the night for him. He was batting in the leadoff spot right when he got here. That came all the way back at the end of June, last week of June. He was in the leadoff spot consistently. Now he's been dropped to the bottom of the order, and he's been getting on for the top. And the top is the only part that's been producing. So Smith has really become an X factor for this Mariner offense. As count is quickly 0-2 to Cole Harding, who reached on a fielder's choice at the expense of David Smith. Looking to drive in the first Mariner run. Stokely 90 feet away. Smith over at first. The pitch. Swing and a miss. 3 pitches and 3 outs now for Warwicker. That will be the inning. Mariners strand another pair. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Orleans trying to get some more offense. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Bottom of the 4th inning, Logan Beard starting things off. Cameron Mayer is back out there for yet another inning of work. He's gone an inning and a third thus far. As it's now a 1-1 count to Logan Beard, who on the day, this will be his 3rd at-bat. He's struck out and also been hit by a pitch. He was the first batter that Mayer faced, and he drilled him. Came around to score in that 7-run second inning. It's 1-2 on the swinging strike there. Mayer trying to have a much more easy time about it. He's going to have the bottom 4 in the order due up. Bounces this one in the dirt, 2-2. Beard originally supposed to play 3rd tonight. Ends up playing 2nd. Kevin Sim with a shoulder problem. He's actually headed out of Orleans tomorrow. Mayer fires this pitch. Time granted, so it won't count. But Kevin Sim headed out of Orleans tomorrow. They lose a lot with him. A guy who had 5 home runs on the season for them and walked 13 times, had 9 RBI. That's second on the ball club. So they'll lose a power threat in the middle of their lineup. 3-2. As this one is lifted into shallow right field. Tommy Seidel is there, moves a couple feet to his left, and he's got that for out number 1. Nice start for Cameron Mayer.
I mean, important that you're able to get the leadoff guy to go down. That's something Harwich has failed to do here tonight, save for now this inning. So already off to a much better start here in the 4th than they have been.
Jacob Stinson climbs in now. He's been up twice, and it both came in the 2nd inning. He was hit by a pitch twice. Came around to score the first time. Second time was stranded at 3rd. Count is 1-0 to start him off here. Next pitch is on the outside corner to even it up at 1. Mayer of Tufts University, a D3 guy. We saw Alex Amalfi from UMass Boston, another D3 guy. As time going to be granted again. And Garcia going to come out and have a conversation with Mayer. And now Garcia going to have to talk to Coach Englert. This is like 3rd or 4th time that Mayer has been ready to pitch and the batter has not been set. Time has been granted by Garcia. And obviously, given how this game has gone, Mayer just trying to throw pitches, and it's getting a little intense.
I've seen this happen a few times this season already, where Harwich pitchers are ready to go, batters seemingly aren't, and it's just been a point of contention.
First time we've really seen Coach Englert go at it with an umpire. Kind of can make an argument for both sides in this case. I can see how Mickey Garcia is trying to handle it, and I can see why Coach Englert and the Mariners are frustrated. As this one fouled off right up towards us, and that makes it 1 ball and 2 strikes, I believe.
Yeah, I mean, it didn't even look like Stinson tried calling for time. He just stepped back out of the batter's box as soon as Mayer was delivering, and that counted for some reason.
Foot race to the bag. Mayer going to win it, and he steps on it for out number 2. 2 up, 2 down to start things here in the 4th. And yeah, it looked like he was tapping his bat on the plate when Mayer had released the ball. So I think Garcia granted time because the batter was just not even close to being ready. But Mayer figured he's in the box, I'm going to throw it. So that's why I say I can see both sides of the argument, especially given the scoreboard. Cam Jones will climb in. What a day he's had, 2 for 2. Both of those hits came in the 2nd, so 2's been his magic number. He scored just once, though, as he started off with a strike, I believe, or ball. That one also misses inside to make it 2-0. Jones coming into today just 2 for 15, 133. He has improved those numbers drastically. Now up to 235. That's 4 for 17. Doubled his RBI total as well. That's up to 2. So he slaps this one foul to even up the count at 2. 2-2, 2 outs. Nick McCleary on deck, should he get the chance to step in. The pitch. This is chopped foul in front of the plate. Got a piece of him. So the at-bat will continue here. Mayer's pitch count is up to 54.
Do we know exactly how many read through as well? I mean, the Mariners have just been put through the ringer.
He threw just under 50. We don't have it right now. It should be in the box score later on, but to my recollection, it was right around, give or take 5 pitches within 50 mark across just 1 2/3. As this one is chopped slowly over to shortstop, Harrison Fields goes on to first. The throw pulled Stokely off the bag. and they're going to say the runner is safe with an infield single. Not sure if the throw was wide and Stokely came off the bag, or he tried to pop off or stretch too far and couldn't get it, but nonetheless, it'll be a runner on with 2 away.
I mean, you have to credit Harrison for even being close with this ball. Those are the toughest plays to make, the ones that are the slow rollers right over to you. Gives the runner plenty of time to head down to the bag, and so Jones, he was able to beat it out for now his 3rd hit of the ball game. But even still, impressive effort from Harrison.
He's got 3 of their 7, so just about half. And out of your 8-hole hitter, he has been fantastic. Nick McCleary now will climb in. Had a sacrifice bunt, but came around to score as he reached and then also struck out. Those both came in the 2nd. Another opportunity for him here to do some damage here. 2 away in the 4th. Next pitch. Just misses the outside corner, and it's 2-1. Top of the order, Travis Honeyman getting loose, looking for his 4th at-bat already. Mayer checks the runner and delivers. This one is lined into shallow right field. It gets down in front of Seidel. It'll be a hit from McCleary, his first official of the day. And extends the rally for Travis Honeyman coming up for the 4th time here.
Yeah, I mean, another inning, another Travis Honeyman at bat. Every single inning now, he's come up to bat and continues the trend here. Orleans has been able to get 2 on here in this inning, and that's what they needed to do in order to get him a chance. So, inning continues here for Orleans.
Travis Honeyman has walked twice, singled once, and scored 3 times. He climbs in here in the 4th, 2 on, and trying to keep this scoring streak in every inning alive. First pitch, he fouls back and into the crowd for strike 1. Honeyman of Boston College, hitting .308 this season, 8 RBIs, 23 for 77. New York native. Similar to Joe Vitrano, they both go to BC, but they're both New York natives, so it's got to be a little weird dynamic there. As quickly, Honeyman's down in the count 0-2. Talked to, or Reed Becker of the Cape Cod Baseball League talked to Vitrano, and obviously that was on the Fenway day, and talked to him about growing up in New York, a Yankees fan, and now getting the chance to play at Fenway Park. Definitely a little weird, but very historic, and obviously the coolest place he's played. So, seemed to be kind of a blessing in disguise for the arch-rival fan. As this one grounded to short, Harrison goes to Smith for the forced play at second, and that ends the inning. So, that's the first time that the Firebirds have not scored in the ball game. They strand 2, and that's the inning. We head to the 5th. Mariners coming back. We'll be right back on the other side of the break. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Couple Crimson Tide set to get us going here in the top of the 5th. Warwicker back out there for the Firebirds. He's gone 4 complete thus far. Been fantastic. Just 2 hits allowed, 2 walks, struck out 4. Will Hammeter came in for Nick Goodwin on defense a little bit as David Smith moved from left to second. Hammeter went into left for him, and Goodwin took a seat. So now he'll hit for Goodwin, his first at-bat of the ball game. And he's quickly up in the count, 2-0. Tommy Seidel on deck, followed by Brock Wilkin, due up in the 5th inning. As Hammeter slaps this one over to first, it's fielded by Keishel. Foot race to the bag, and Warwicker wins it. So score that a 3-1 put out. Good speed and a nice cover from Warwicker for the first out.
Yeah, those can be tricky sometimes. You've not always seen them clear or fielded cleanly, I should say. So nice job done by Warwicker, who's been cruising here for Orleans.
Tommy Seidel will climb in. He's struck out today, also walked. It's great at batting that walk. 8 pitches, and it led to the bases being loaded. Harwich couldn't do anything with it as he's down in the count 0-1 to start here. Just 68 pitches thrown by Warwicker. He's been efficient. Harwich not doing themselves any favors either. This pitch just misses low and away to make it 1-1.
No, I mean, well, yes, Harwich has given up the 8 hits in the ball game. I mean, how many free passes down the first have they given up here tonight?
As this one fouled back, and now Seidel down in the count 1-2. Tommy with 3 homers, 10 RBIs on the season. He's cooled off since he had a hot stretch that last week in June. He's kind of went the opposite direction of the Harwich offense as they got really hot here in July. Had a big home run yesterday, but his hits have been a little more distant than they're used to be. As fouls this one off, stay alive, still 1-2.
That number of free passes, by the way, 8. 5 walks, 3 batters have been hit by pitches.
One ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. This is lifted out to left field. Shouldn't be trouble for Honeyman. He's over to his right, takes a step in, and he's got it. That's out number 2.
Yeah, Harwich has just been rolling over offensively here tonight after exploding on offense their past couple of games. Really just cooling off here as still scoreless are the Mariners.
Brock Wilkin now. On the day, he is 0 for 1. He's walked and reached on an error to the third baseman. First pitch to him. Breaking ball drops right in there at the belt, and it's 0-1. Brock on the season, sitting .245. 6 RBIs, 3 homers, now 10 walks for him. Fouls this one off into the stands. So funny how the way that this park is set up with everybody on the hill. When that ball comes into foul territory, they all scatter like mice. You can finally see the grass again.
Not much room to go, though. You're surrounded by people. Can't start running. Trip over someone.
Got to be careful with the hill as well. If you start running down a hill, you might blow a tire, and next thing you know, you're lying on your back at the bottom of the hill. Mickey Garcia headed over to the Harwich dugout. He's going to have a few words for someone. Not sure exactly why or what.
Yeah, not sure if it was something to do with that last pitch Mariners didn't like, but either way, it's been a tense game from the Harwich side of things. Not too happy whenever something doesn't go their way right now.
1-2. Of course, extreme competitors in that dugout. A pitch. Bounce in the dirt, 2-2 to Wilkin. Searching for the second 1-2-3 inning of the ball game. Warwicker shakes off one, and now he's into his windup. The pitch. This one just misses the outside corner. Looked good from here, but it loads up the count full, 3-2. Joe Vitrano on deck. He's 0 for 2, grounded out to second twice here tonight. Payoff pitch is grounded sharply over to shortstop, who goes on to first, and it's a 6-3 putout. Nick McCleary ends it and retires the side. We'll take a quick break. 9-0 Firebirds, and be right back on the other side for the home half. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Nate Furman, Luke Keishel, and Isaac Humphrey due up here in the Firebird 5th. Cameron Mayer is back out there. His pitch count's up to 63. But he is just going to eat innings at this point for Coach Englert's Mariners. You don't want to have to waste any more arms, especially good arms, when the deficit is this extreme. This count now to Furman is going to be 1-1.
Yeah, I mean, especially considering that it's, you mentioned that the deficit's extreme right now, but the offense just hasn't even been showing. So there's really been no reason to try to salvage this one almost for Harwich. Offense hasn't shown enough.
1-2 is this one flipped foul. Furman has been on base 3 times, pair of singles, and he's also walked. One of just 2 Firebirds that have not come across the plate in this game. Lines this one, but foul over towards the left. And we'll do it again at 1-2. Furman and Keishel, the only ones not to cross the plate. Everyone else has scored once, except Travis Honeyman, who has scored 3 times. 1-2 offering again is spoiled. Furman putting together a nice at-bat. And we'll do the 1-2 once more.
Yeah, it's going to take an awful lot for Honeyman's up-to-bat streak to continue here in this 5th inning.
Another one is pushed over towards David Smith. He's got it on to first, and it's 4-3 put out to start things here in the 5th.
I mean, this is similar to how the inning started last time around for the Mariners. Got the first batter to go down. In fact, got the first 2 to go down, but something that's sometimes plagued Harwich past couple of games, seen it a few times, is struggling to get off the field with 2 outs. That happened back in that 2nd inning. Another 2 runs ended up coming across the score. Really 3, because you consider the home run by Guillemette. He brought in 3 runs. So the fact that the Mariners have just been struggling to get off the field at times with 2 outs is something that goes directly against what I know they preach in that dugout.
First pitch misses outside to start off Luke Keishel, who on the day is 0 for 2. He's punched out. Also grounded out to second and walked. Try his luck against Mayer here. Still searching for his first hit. He might get it here. He flips it into shallow left field. Coming on is Hammeter. Full extension. Makes the grab, I believe. I'm not 100% sure. It might have. Yes, it will. We got kind of a blind spot behind the dugout here on the 3rd baseline. But Hamner, a diving catch in left field, retires Keishel. He can't believe it, and that's out number 2.
Yeah, I mean, you'll love to see that from a guy who wasn't in the game to start the ball game, but even still, he comes in, he does his job when called upon. Really puts it all out there as he's able to record a huge out to continue this streak of Harwich defense trying to keep it locked in.
1-0. Dropped in there to make it a 1-1 count. Going around the Cape Cod Baseball League, YD defeated Bourne 6-2. Good 2. It leads Wareham 5-4. Brewster on top of Falmouth 7-2. And the Anglers on top of the Harbor Hawks 2-1. All games active except the Bourne YD game, which has been finalized. So YD extending their lead in that East Division. Mariners 3.5 games behind them. Firebirds 4.5. This one flied into shallow right field. Coming in and not making the diving grab this time is Tommy Seidel. Tried to sell it to keep the runner from advancing. About a foot shy of that, and it will be a 2-out single to extend the inning for the Firebirds. They have not had any short innings. The shortest amount of batters faced has been 5 in an inning.
Yeah, I mean, they've just been unbelievable in extending innings, getting guys on. You know, credit to Mayer, who's been able to pitch through a lot. He's eaten up a good amount of innings for you here now in the 5th.
As now the number 5 hitter Garrett Guillemette climbs in. He's 1 for 3 with that big bomb that he had back in the 2nd.
But Devin, just to talk about the standings again for a minute, as you mentioned it a minute ago, every other team in the East right now is lined up for a win other than Harwich. It's not been their night here. And this is the last team you want to lose to if you're the Mariners right now.
They just got sole place of 3rd in the East last night with their win, and barring an absolute miracle, it will happen here. Here comes the 1-2 offering to Guillemette. He threw his bat over towards the camera here on the 3rd base line. And it will be strike 3. So Mayer picks up another punch out. A wild one that time. Guillemette is retired for the 3rd time today. So nothing doing for the Firebirds once again. We head to the 6th. Still 9-0 Orleans. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back. Night is over for Warwicker. He is on the line for the win. He went 5 innings, allowed just 2 hits, walked 2, struck out 4. His team has a 9-0 lead as the ball is handed over to Ryan Barasa. Right-hander, 6'1", 225 from West Fargo, North Dakota. Attends South Dakota State. This will be his 2022 Cape League debut. Not a high-pressure situation. You can't ask for a better way to kind of ease a guy into your ball club than a 9-run cushion. Joe Vetrano is the batter, as count is 2-0 to start him.
I mean, you have to think that perhaps here for Harwich, you get a new pitcher in the ball game, finally able to get past work, or maybe you can get something going, but sometimes when the team's down, they're just down. We'll see how Harwich comes out here.
Big swing that time, makes it 2-1. On deck, Hunter Stokely followed by Kalai Harrison. Trying to start the magic for the M's in the 6th. The pitch. Caught on and missed. Took Vetrano down to a knee, down and away on the fastball, and it's 2-2. Vetrano got like a bug in the eye, so it seems. Taking a minute outside the box.
I don't blame him. I've got bugs in my eyes.
Yeah, it has been an rather unorthodox night here. Vetrano checks his swing. Did he go? No, says the third base umpire. So Vetrano hangs in there. Count has worked full. Boston College Eagle, designated hitter tonight with the lefty Stokely behind him. Payoff pitch. Misses the outside corner, so it's a leadoff walk for Joe Vetrano to start off the 6th.
Yeah, back-to-back innings now for, or pardon, not back-to-back innings, but this is the now 3rd inning in which Harwich has been able to get the leadoff man on. Nothing's come of it yet. Leadoff man's once been retired at 2nd and another time stranded over at 3rd.
Stokely has been hit by a pitch and also struck out. First pitch to him. Misses up and away. It's 1-0. Stokely, UNC Tar Heel, looking to do more with the bat. He's been in the middle of that lineup in the 5-hole here tonight, but just 3 hits in now 22 at-bats for him. The pitch. This one right in at the knees to even it up at 1. Stokely, of course, suffering some heartbreak with the loss of Chris Newell, his best friend on the Mariners, who just left. It's the 2nd game without him, so wishing him the best in the days to come. As he rips this one out to deep right field, going back is Humphrey, looking up, and that ball is gone. Hunter Stokely cracks one out to right center field. A 2-run blast, his first of the season, and he's got Harwich on the board. It's 9-2.
Yeah, there you go. Felt like it was just a matter of time for Stokely. Big guy up there standing in the box. Finally he's able to get a piece of one. Rips it over the fence out and right. Still plenty of work to do if you're Harwich, but it's good to see something go here for you if you're the Mariners.
It's got to feel good for him. A guy who, as we've mentioned, has had several woes throughout this season. He hasn't had a hit all the way back to July 4th. That came against Brewster. So it's been a while for him, over a week, 9 days to be exact, but he finally cashes in, chases in Vetrano, and still no outs for Kalai Harrison. This one misses outside. It's 2-0. So now due up is Matt Gassetti afterwards, and then David Smith. So bottom of the Harwich order coming up. They've gotten 2 thus far. Barassa, of course, making his debut for the Firebirds. And this one is ripped into the gap in left center field. Going over is Honeyman, taking a turn and staying is Harrison. And he's got his first Cape Cod Baseball League hit. Congratulations to Kalai Harrison.
Yeah, the Mariners now working here. That's what we were wondering would happen is as soon as a new pitcher is into the game in Barassa, can this Firebirds bullpen maintain their composure, keep Harwich in check? Is Harwich going to be able to get back out, have some life as they have in recent games? And so far, Harwich has been favored, but again, you have a long way to go. You just got to continue to plug away here.
Just the 4th hit for the Mariners. It's 0-1 to Matt Gassetti, who has grounded out to third and also flied out to center. We'll see what he can do against the newcomer. The pitch. Took him down to a knee, holds it there, Beltre style. Can't connect, it's 0-2 to him quickly. Harrison over at first. We have not seen much of him on the base paths, so not sure if he's a threat to run. Snap throw back to first, but back in there is Harrison. Good idea by Guillemette, but it'll be a 1-2 count to Gassetti. Another one to the new Alabama product. This one gets away from the catcher. Down to second goes Harrison. He picks up a nice read, gets himself over to second, and eliminates the double play. Nice job by him there.
Yeah, huge to be able to take away that option for the Firebirds as you now have a man down on second. Just keep the pressure on Barassa here. He's not looked settled really here throughout this inning. Hasn't recorded an out yet. If Matt Gassetti's able to make something happen here, then that'd be huge to pass things along to a red-hot David Smith.
2-2 offering is poked into shallow left field. Not much trouble for Stinson. He ranges over to his left, makes the catch for out number 1. David Smith, as mentioned, red hot. He has 2 of the 4 Mariner hits here tonight. Looking for his first 3-hit game of the season. Here comes the first pitch from Barassa, who just recorded the first out. Still runner in scoring position. Catches the outside corner for strike 1. Tough take for Smith. Been a tight zone tonight. It's gone both ways, though. So here comes the next one to the Yukon Husky. Bounced in the dirt. He got him to swing at it. So on the chase, it's 0-2. Cole Harding on deck with 1 away here. Winding up. Barassa taking his time. Kicks, fires, and it's bounced right in front of the plate. They're going to call it a fair ball. Guillemette going to look the runner back at second and throw out Smith at first. This ball was just hit and plugged right in front of home plate. Did not move and was ruled fair. Tough break for Smith as he's put out. Can't move the runner over.
Yeah, I mean, humid day here today. Dirt just ate every last bit of energy that ball had. Absolutely took it and just sat right in front of home. Unfortunate for Smith.
Brings in Cole Harding, who has reached on a fielder's choice and also struck out. See what he's able to do out of the 9 spot. He's got Harrison down over at second. Base hit would likely bring him in. We saw his speed on that ball that got away from the catcher. As it's 1-1 now to Harding. Will Hammeter is on deck. He'd like another chance to hit here in the inning. First at bat was back in the 5th. He grounded out to first. The pitch. Misses down and away. 2 balls and a strike to the Cincinnati Bearcat. Just crossed 8:30 Eastern time. Still in the 6th inning here at White House, or rather at Eldridge Park. As Harding rips this one down the line in left, but way foul. He knew it. Barely got out of the box. Good contact, but can't straighten it out. So it's 2-2 to him with 2 away and a runner on second.
Yeah, I mean, he really just pulled that thing. Tough, unable to keep it fair. See if he'll certainly try to keep it straighter this time around.
Just completely yanked it. Still a good crowd here. They've lost a few, but for the most part, good house as Harding strikes out. Swings right through that one, and the inning ends. But Hunter Stokely's first of the year makes Harwich on the board. It's now 9-2. Chased in Joe Vetrano. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Firebirds due up. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Bottom of the 6th inning, Logan Beard, Jacob Stinson, and Cam Jones due up for the Firebirds. Beard is 0 for 2. He's struck out, been hit by a pitch and scored, and also flied out to right. See what he can do here to start off the 6th against a new pitcher. It's Teddy Sharkey. Day's over for Cameron Mayer. He went 3 1/3, allowed 5 hits, just 2 runs that were earned. Walked a man and struck out 3. All things considered, he did his job eating innings. And now his time is over as his pitch count got way up. This one is whipped all the way to the backstop. Count is 1-1 now from Sharkey.
Yeah, Sharkey's got some real heat with him. As that's a padded mat back there behind home. Right on the brick, but even still, Sharkey was able to get that thing to ricochet.
Sharkey has an ERA of 3 on the season. This is his 4th appearance. He's thrown 3 complete innings, walked 1, given up 3 hits. Doesn't have a strikeout yet. This one is flied into shallow left field. Coming in is the center fielder, though, Harding, and he's got it to put away Beard for the first out. Sharkey's first outing was, or his most recent outing was miserable. Went just a 3rd inning, allowed pitched 26 pitches. He allowed 3 hits, an earned run, didn't strike anyone out, and walked 1. It was a forgettable one for him. He's looking to bounce back from it. Against Jacob Stinson now, who has been hit twice by pitches and also grounded out to first. He's 0 for 1 officially on the day. Has scored a run as well. It's 0-1 to him as he foul tips the first pitch. On deck, Cam Jones, and what a day he's had, searching for his 4th hit. Sharkey loads up and delivers this one in the dirt to make it 1-1. Nick McCleary, the 9-hitter, is in the hole should he get the opportunity. Sharkey into a set, kicks and fires. That one right down Broadway for strike 2. Stinson hitting just 175 coming into today on the season. 6 RBIs in that time. Has not homered. Been a roll guy. So here comes the 1-2 offering from Sharkey. It's chopped right back to him. He'll field it and help himself out onto first base. Gets him. There's quickly 2 away.
Yeah, an easy little grounder right back to him. Made the throw, I think, harder on himself than it had to be. As Stokely had to lean out in front of Stinson, nearly collided with him on that throw down to first, but nonetheless, yeah, 2 away.
One of those awkward situations as a first baseman where you got to have your left foot on the bag so your body is facing the play in the shallow infield. Your right foot, typically what it would be. But he's able to get out of the way. And now there's 2 down for Cam Jones. Cam has singled and scored in the 2nd. Also in the 2nd, he singled. And then singled back in the 4th. What a day it's been for him. He has more hits in the game today than he's had all season. 1-0 offering from Sharkey coming. Bounced in the dirt. And to the backstop. Makes it 2-0.
Yeah, and just about as many hits in the ball game as the Mariners have. This is 4 for Harwich.
He's been spectacular. Looking for more. 2 away in the bottom of the 6th inning. Still 9-2 Firebirds. And here comes the pitch. This one grounded over to 2nd. Smith is there on a couple hops, goes on to 1st, and retires the side. 1-2-3 for the Coastal Carolina Chanticleer. We head to the late innings. Mariners do back up and looking in quite the hole. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back. 7th inning, top of the order for the Mariners, and taking us the rest of the way home is my broadcast partner, Tim Foley. Tim.
Thanks so much, Devin. As Will Hamner leads off the top of the 7th. Fouls off the first pitch he sees, and the count opens at 0-1. Hamner, he came in back in the 5th inning. Pinch hit for Nick Goodwin. Grounded out to the pitcher at the time, which was Ryan Barassa. Or pardon, no, that was Bryce Warwicker. The day is done for Ryan Barassa. Pitched an inning complete. Allowed 2 hits, 2 runs, walked 1 batter, and struck out a batter. It's now Ben Shields on the mound. Next pitch misses up high. The count is now 1-1. Shields on the season for the Firebirds. This is his 6th appearance. 1-1 record, a 4.15 ERA. He does have 1 save on the season. This is not exactly a save situation. Crosses 17 in a 3rd innings pitched. He's struck out 4 to just 2 walks. It's a 1-2 count. Tommy Seidel stands on deck. Brock Wilkin thereafter. Those are 3 we will guaranteed see here for Harwich in the top of the 7th. Shields, the pitch. Swing and a miss. High fastball. Got him to go after it. Down goes Hamner, and the inning opens up with a strikeout.
Nice job to get eased in here for Shields. Mows down Hamner like clockwork. Top of the Mariners order is tough, so if he can retire him 1, 2, 3, it's got to feel good, no matter what the score is.
Tommy Seidel up to bat now. Struck out back in the 1st inning, walked in the 3rd, and flew out to center field back in the 5th. He'll pop this one foul down the first base side. Heads over toward the car that's parked up toward Nauset Middle School. There's a car up there that has the trunk popped. Watching the game in the comfort of their own car. Quite the way to take in a ball game. It's like you're at the drive-in. As it's an 0-1 count here to Seidel. Here's the pitch. That's in for a called strike, and so in 2. When was the last time you were at the drive-in, Devin?
Maybe the Minion movie, like not the most recent one, like Despicable Me 2. Or maybe I saw Ice Age. It's been a while, considering I'm naming all these kids' movies.
No kidding. Let's see. It's an 0-2 count here still to Seidel. Last time, I think I was at the drive-in. Not that you asked. As that one's going to miss. It's a 1-2 count. What did I watch? I think I watched, it wasn't Pacific Rim. It was, I think it was that new Godzilla movie. I say new, but it was like probably 3 years old at this point. And then right after that, right before that, it was Life of Pets 2.
Nice.
That was a good one.
I hated that movie, to be honest.
Well, it's a 1-2 count. That's going to be flown out toward right field. Underneath it is Humphrey. He'll make the catch. 2 gone. Now, what about Life of Pets 2 did you not like? I'm surprised they have such a hot take on it.
Life of Pets 1 was a great movie. Life of Pets 2 they fumbled. Strictly fumbled. It was just not good. I don't even remember it. I think I've just pushed it out of my conscious memory because of how much I didn't enjoy it. There's been a few sequels and maybe it's the fact that I'm getting older as well, when I'm seeing sequels to movies I loved as a kid, and I'm just really let down. But yeah, no, it was just not it.
First pitch into Brock Wilkins, a called strike. You made it sound personal.
Maybe me trying to stay in my childhood in a sense and realizing I'm leaving could be a little personal.
It's an 0-1 count to Wilkin. Shields, the pitch. That misses outside. It's a 1-1 count. I don't know if there's many drive-ins on the Cape.
Wellfleet.
Wellfleet?
Wellfleet has one.
That's all the way up the arm, right?
Yeah, it's deep.
It's a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. That's going to be hammered out toward right field. Humphrey back, makes the catch, and the inning ends. A quick 1-2-3 inning. Down go the Mariners. To the bottom of the 7th we go. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. We bring you back inside Eldridge Park. Tim Foley, Devin Dobick, and the Orleans Firebirds with a 9-2 lead here in the bottom of the 7th inning. It's Nick McCleary who leads it off for Orleans. Sharkey delivers a first pitch fastball that just about takes the noggin off of McCleary. He'll step out of the way, and the count here is 1-0. McCleary on the night, he is 1 for 2, singled back in his last at-bat back in the fourth inning, excuse me. As this one's going to be hammered out toward left field. That's going to be caught, just barely caught, as that was a low liner right to the glove of Will Hamiter, who makes the catch. One gone.
That was hammered. Unlucky for McCleary. He got all of this one. Sinking liner, but Hamiter there reads it well, doesn't move, makes a catch at the shoelaces for out number 1.
This brings up Travis Honeyman, who has scored 3 times in this ball game. Came up to bat in each of the first, second, third, and fourth innings. Thanks to a slew of offense that the Firebirds were able to put together across the first half of this ball game. They scored 9 across the game's first 3 innings, but have remained scoreless across the last 3 1/3. Sharkey's back out there. It's his 2nd inning of work. The pitch. That's going to miss inside. Counts 1-0.
Honeyman's been great tonight, and this is exactly what you need against a team you're battling for position with in the East Division. Got one more game with him coming up on Friday. So that will be the rubber match in this 3 of 4 set.
Here's the pitch. That's in for a called strike. Count even at 1-1. Yeah, you really have to just wipe your memory of this one. Mariners have done a good job of that before. Saw after the 16-5 shellacking that Brewster put on Harwich back on the 3rd of July. Mariners came back, tied them 1-1 the next day.
And a game they should have won, you might add. I mean, that was just abysmal. 1 unearned run that they allowed. They stranded 14 runners on base, and they had a no-hitter through 7 2/3 on the back of Billy Seidel and I believe Joe Savino. Yes, I'm now sure of it.
Yes, Blake Purnell as well in that game. It was Savino who allowed the hit in the top of the 8th inning to Alex Freeland.
With 2 outs, too.
Yes, indeed. As it's a 2-2 count now here to Travis Honeyman. Mariners in a hole here. Sharkey comes set, stares home. Here's the pitch. That pops the Mitigasetti inside. It's a full count now here to Honeyman.
Nate Furman on deck. He's been a pain. Reached base 3 times already. See what he can do here in the 7th.
You never know what you're going to hear drive behind you on Route 28. Dogs, children, odd noises coming from cars as this one's laced out towards center field. That's probably a home run in about 9 Cape Cod Baseball League ballparks, but not here in Orleans, where dead center is 434. That was a well-struck ball by Honeyman, but he's retired. First 2 up are the first 2 down. This brings up Nate Furman, the 3rd baseman, who on the night is 2 for 3. Singles in each of the 2nd and 3rd. Got as far as 3rd base back in the 1st inning when he got on with a walk, but he grounded out to 2nd back in the 5th. So he is still one of the only 2 Firebirds not to score so far in this game. Sharkey stands on the mound still, stares in. Here's the pitch. That's popped up. Playable out toward left field. In his Hamiter, he makes the catch, and the inning ends. The Mariners force 3 outs to the outfield. We head to the top of the 8th. We'll be back with more Harwich Mariners baseball on the other side. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. we bring you back inside Eldridge Park. It's Joe Vitrano in the top of the 8th inning who leads things off for the Harwich Mariners. We will also see Hunter Stokely and Kalai Harrison up to bat. First pitch is into Vitrano. That's in for a called strike, and he's behind 0-1. Vitrano on the day, he is one of the 2 Mariners runs thanks to that 2-run shot put up by Hunter Stokely back in the 6th inning, his first of the season with the Mariners. As Ben Shields is back out there for his 2nd full inning of work. The next pitch into Vitrano misses. It's a ball. The count is now 1-1.
People starting to file out here as we head to the 8th inning. It's been a very successful night for the Orleans Firebirds.
Yeah, they've done what they've needed to in order to give themselves the best shot possible to grab 3rd in the division by the time the night's over. Vitrano checks his swing. He does hold up, so the count is now 2-1. Mariners, another home game tomorrow after being on the road here tonight, facing off against Wareham. That'll be the final of 4 matches with the Gatemen as the 2-1 misses down low. It's a 3-1 count now, and Wareham set to be the first team that the Harwich Mariners will be done playing against here this season. You get 4 games against the opposing division, 6 against your interdivision rivals. As that one rides high inside, that's ball 4. Vitrano is able to get on. The leadoff man here for the Mariners, 2nd time for Vitrano, which he's gotten on with a leadoff walk, 2nd straight at bat at that.
Identical to what happened back in the 6th. Let's see if Stokely can replicate with another home run here.
Hunter Stokely does stand in now, and yes, he did hit that home run back in the 6th inning. He was also hit by a pitch earlier in the ball game. Continues to do an excellent job of getting on base for these Mariners, as that's 2 out of his 3 plate appearances in which he's managed to get on. Takes a first pitch strike, and so he's behind the count 0-1 as Ben Shields opts to swap out for a new baseball.
Put down the Mariners 1-2-3 in the 7th, but won't be the case here in the 8th. Let's see how he can rebound.
Still an 0-1 count. Shields, the pitch. Swing and a miss, and Stokely's behind here. It's 0-2 to the big lefty out of North Carolina. And, you know, certainly still positives you can try to glean from this one if you're Harwich. You certainly still want to be putting together good at-bats, practicing good habits. Don't want to let anything else that happens here today bleed into the rest of your season. As the 0-2 comes into Stokely, misses down low. It's a 1-2 count, especially with how late we're getting in the season. Start to get cold now, and things aren't going to look too hot. Chatham, last we checked, was winning over the Harbor Hawks. We'll take another look at the out-of-town scoreboard in a moment here. As it's a 1-2 count here to Stokely. Here's the pitch. That's cut back, foul. And count remains at 1-2.
Staying alive, doing his job. He's got some good bats behind him. Kalai Harrison picked up his first hit back in the 6th. Then you got Gussetti and Smith. Get on, see what the rest of your order can do.
As it's a 1-2 count here to Stokely. Here's the pitch. He'll take outside. It's a 2-2 count. Out-of-town scoreboard looks like this. YD, of course, did win earlier, 6-2. Katuitt took down Wareham 5-4. Brewster's up on Falmouth 7-2 in the bottom of the 9th inning at Arne Allen Diamond. And then Hyannis is back out in front of Chatham. So if you're Harwich, there's at least that. That's in the bottom of the 5th inning over at Veterans Field as Stokely's rung up. He knew it too. Started taking a few steps toward the dugout even before Mickey Garcia and rung him up. So that now brings up Kalai Harrison.
1 for 3 on the night. See if he can build off that lefty on lefty matchup. Going to be a tough one for him.
Here's the first pitch into Kalai Harrison, and that's going to miss for a ball. Harrison on the night, 1 for 3. Did record his first hit with the Harwich Mariners here earlier. That was back at his last at-bat. Got as far as second base, did not get much further. As Matt Gussetti stands on deck for Harwich. There's another take from Harrison, and count is evened out now at 1-1.
Just be patient, wait for your pitch. Still getting his land legs here on the Cape. If he can string together some offense, make a name for himself over in that middle infield, that'll be huge.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. And he's behind now, 1-2. So Shields trying to record his third strikeout of the game. Would be his second straight if he's able to pull it off. Stares in, comes set, holds the glove about waist height, looks down Harrison. The pitch. Misses high, 2-2. Toronto will head back to first as well after taking a healthy lead.
Piecing together a nice at bat. Staying alive, hanging in there, fighting off pitches. Let's see if he can work himself on base. Why not?
2-2 count. Shields looks over at first briefly. Here's the pitch. That's chopped foul right back at home. And the count remains 2-2.
Spoiling pitches well. Matt Gussetti on deck.
2-2 count here to Harrison. Mariners were able to scratch across 2 runs back in the 6th inning. Nothing going in the 7th on a 1-2-3 inning, but here in the 8th, trying to threaten. As Kalai Harrison fights off another pitch. Continues to put together a nice at-bat here as Joe Vitrano still parked over on first. Harrison's just the 3rd batter of the inning, but he's been making Shields work here in the 8th. Here's the pitch from Shields. That's going to be hit out toward left field, and that's going to drop. Harrison hits him back-to-back at-bats. He advances Vitrano down to second base, and the Mariners are working here in the 8th inning. But
fantastic at-bat for him. Took 7 pitches, finally dumps one into left field, opposite field swing. Great job to barrel it up. Picks up his second hit, and second in as many at-bats since the 6th inning. That will be the day for Shields. They're not messing around at all.
Yeah, Kelly Nicholson says 7-run lead. Well, I better get my guy out of there. We'll head to a pitching change. Back on the other side, you're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. We bring you back inside Eldridge Park where all order has gone out the window. At least in regards to our media team here in the press box. Everybody's defaulted to taking shark personality quizzes. While Matt Cassetti stands in now as Cam Walty is the new pitcher on the mound for the Orleans Firebirds. Walty on the season. This is his third appearance, rocking an ERA of 11.57. Across his 2 1/3 innings pitched, he's allowed 3 earned runs. He's walked 1 and he's struck out 3. He's behind in the count to Cassetti, 1-0. Here's the pitch. That's going to miss for a ball. It's 2-0 now to Cassetti. Cassetti 0 for 3 on the night. And one of the big figures that really strikes me, when you look at the Harwich Mariners and some of their record splits this season, is that they are 0-4-2 against their own division on the road. They are yet to pick up a win in a eastern ballpark other than White House Field this season, and that's just not going to cut it when about a quarter of your games are going to be played on the road against your Eastern Division opponents, if not slightly more than a quarter. So it's something that's plagued the Mariners this season and looks as though it will continue to plague them here tonight. As Matt Cassetti takes a 2-1 pitch inside, it's 3-1.
It is what it is, though. It'll come. They've gotten streaky already. We've seen it. You know, just picked up their first and second wins against a team other than the YD Red Sox in the East. They hadn't beaten anyone other than YD in the East, and then they beat Brewster. They beat Orleans last night.
As that pitch gets away, runners are going to advance. Down to second now is Kalai Harrison. Up to third is Joe Vitrano. Mariners continue to threaten here in the 8th inning. But yeah, it'll come along. Certainly so. And Harwich, something you have to be impressed by as well is that with the win last night over Orleans, they were able to bump their home record above 500. The fact that they were even able to get to 500 with the win over Brewster back on Sunday, and then, of course, yesterday after the off day, continuing their win streak as Matt Cassetti takes a pitch inside, and that will walk him down, and that will load the bases. So Vitrano's on third, Harrison's on second, Cassetti's on first, and Harwich is trying to get something going here. Kelly Nicholson opted to pull Ben Shields out of the ball game after allowing a walk and a single while striking out 1 in this top of the 8th inning. Cam Walty has walked the first batter he's faced, and it's now David Smith, who's 2 for 3 on the night, who stands in. Smith takes a first pitch strike. He's down to the count 0-1. Smith, he's had a chance to do a lot of damage, but there's been nobody on ahead of him. Had a single to lead off the third and then singled with just one man on and Hunter Stokely back in the fourth. He got as far as third, but that was about it. Next pitch is in for a called strike, and Smith very quickly down to the count. It's 0-2.
Got to protect, shorten up. Still just the 1 out, so you can find a place to put it somewhere, almost anywhere. Just make contact.
0-2 pitch, just going to miss. It's a 1-2 count now. That one just outside. Close pitch. Walty nearly able to find the strike zone on it, but he does not. Cole Harding stands on deck for the Mariners. Here's the pitch to Smith. Foul tip cannot be held on to by Guillemette. So the at-bat will continue here for Smith.
Harding on deck, the 9-hitter. Like an opportunity, barring a David Smith double play.
Here's the pitch. That's going to be flown foul down the left field side. Not caught. The inning continues here. And again, the bases are loaded. Even a fly ball into the outfield gives you a chance to at least get in a run. Continue to get something across here late in the game.
Smith also searching for his first run batted in of the season. He does not have one. Golden opportunity here.
Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground, right side. Takes a hop into the glove of Beer. Throw on to first for 2. And they did not get it. Smith was safe over at first, so he will reach on a fielder's choice, and that is his first RBI of the season as Joe Vitrano comes stomping home. Cly Harrison's down to third, and Matt Cassetti cut down over at second. So the inning continues now for Cole Harding up to bat. Harding on the night, he is 0 for 3. Reached on the fielder's choice in the third and then struck out in each of the 4th and 6th innings. He'll take a first pitch strike. He's down 0-1.
3 unanswered runs for the Mariners. They have not allowed a run either since the bottom of the 3rd inning. So, I mean, there are some positives. That 7-run second, that's obviously going to hurt you, but you tightened it up since, which is good.
That's popped up. Out of play. Count here is 0-2 with 2 gone to Cole Harding. He's got a man on third. Runners on the corners even. If he can extend the inning here, get it back to the top of the order for Will Hammiter. Smith slides back in. He's safe after getting picked off last night. Looking to not have that happen twice. That's in there, called strike 3. Down goes Harding. That's going to be the first strikeout of the night for Cam Walty, as he's able to get out of it. Does give up the run, but it's charged to Shields. So we head now to the bottom of the 8th inning. Firebirds due up when we return. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. We're back at Eldridge Park. A 9-3 lead for the Orleans Firebirds in the bottom of the 8th inning. As up to bat, it's a pinch. No, it's not a pinch hitter. It's Luke Keishel, who's been up to bat 4 times already tonight. He'll take a first pitch ball from the new arm on the mound in Carl Hartman. The day is done for Teddy Sharkey. He went 2 complete, didn't give up a hit, a run, didn't strike anybody out, didn't walk anybody. A very do-nothing outing, but no news is good news when you're a pitcher, as that's going to be lined down the left field line. Foul by Keishel. Hartman, not the first time he's appeared this season for the Mariners, despite being a recent addition. This is his 2nd appearance. Appeared back in the game against Katuitt. Pitched an inning and 2/3, allowed 4 hits, 1 run. It was earned. Walked the batter, struck out 2. It's a 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. Off speed, that'll miss home plate. Altogether gets past the catcher in Gussetti, the former battery, Gussetti and Hartman. The two to be split up this upcoming season, however, as Gussetti off to join the Crimson Tide. A 2-1 count. Hartman stares in, rocks and delivers. And misses up high. Did he go? No. So says the first base umpire. So the count is 3-1 here to Luke Keishel. Here's the pitch. It'll be cut back, foul. It's a 3-2 count now. Hartman, he's looking for his 3rd strikeout of the season. One of the things that really plagued him in that last outing against Katuitt was that he'd get up to 2 outs in the inning pretty quickly, but then struggled to retire the next following batters. As it's a 3-2 pitch that misses up high, and that's ball 4. Leadoff man is on, and Luke Keishel. That is the 6th walk of the ball game for the Harwich Mariners.
Breaks up 7 straight that had been retired, and 10 of the last 11.
As Humphrey now up to bat. 1 for 3 on the night. Yeah, but a nice little stretch there for Harwich. But that's fallen apart as now, again, Humphrey up to bat. 1 for 3 on the night. Single back in the 5th inning. Walked back in the 2nd. Came all the way around. Firebirds, as this one's popped up and out of play. Orleans trying to add on a few insurance runs here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Up by 6. Man on first right now is Luke Keishel. Here's the pitch. That misses inside. Count now 2-1.
Hartman struggling with control, and this is something we saw against Katuitt. As you mentioned, he'd get those 2 outs, and then it would just be wild from there.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. It's now 2-2. Hartman stares in, awaits the sign. He finally gets it. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Fastball up high. Gets Humphrey to go down swinging. It's the first strikeout for Hartman, as there's now 1 gone in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Nice pitch there. Climbed the ladder to get the strikeout. High fastball, and now 1 away.
Garrett Gilmet up to bat now. So again, as mentioned, Mariners are going to be home tomorrow, facing off against Wareham. Meanwhile, Orleans, they will be at Katuitt. One-0 pitch into Garrett Gilmet, misses up high. It's a 2-0 count now.
Gilmet 1 for 3, had the big home run in the 2nd, but Since then, nothing doing.
Mariners a pitch away. They can force a double play here. Runner goes, throw down a second, is not going to be in time. Drops out of the glove of David Smith in the process, so that's going to be a stolen base for Luke Keeschel. And Orleans continues to apply pressure here late. Hartman comes set on the mound. Here's the pitch. That'll miss down low, and count is 3-1 here.
Hartman also struggles when he's got runners on base. His control seems to dwindle, and that's what we're seeing here.
Pop straight up, perhaps playable for Gassetti. He comes over, and that's going to drop within the field of play. Gassetti did not get there in time. The at-bat stays alive. It's a 3-2 count. Only one gone. Hartman comes set. There's a man on second in Keeschel. Here's the pitch. That misses high, ball 4. That will send a runner down to first. 2 walks in the inning from Carl Hartman, as there's men on first and second now. So the Mariners down by 6 right now. It's going to take a Herculean effort come the top of the 9th inning. Most runs the Mariners have scored in an inning is 5. That was back against Bourne back on June 29th in that 7-6 walk-off win for the Braves. Mariners are going to have to put together something even more spectacular than that 5th inning. Something reminiscent of what they had put up against them here in this one in the bottom of the 2nd when Orleans scored 7 runs. If Harwich wants to come back, because they are down to their final 3 outs come the top of the 9th.
It's going to take a lot, and you got to keep the door shut here. See what they can make of that opportunity.
0-1 fouled off. 0-2 now.
Oh, nice play by a fan. Made a catch out there on the hill.
Barehanded, too.
No, I think he had a mitt. Yeah, he's got a mitt on his left hand.
Looks like it. Well,
that would have been impressive if he made a backhanded barehand catch. Holy cow.
I take away any credit I gave him for that catch. Tough making a barehanded catch.
No kidding.
Hartman's delivery comes in. It's now 1-2. Hartman trying to find the strike zone here. He's struck out 1 batter. He's walked 2. His defense has not had much to do. Nobody's put a bat on the ball quite yet. Gassetti had a chance to record an out on Guillemette. Did not come to fruition. As the 1-2 misses upstairs, it's now 2-2.
Hartman already above 20 pitches. Thrown just a 3rd inning officially.
Here's the pitch. This is outside. Runners are going to advance here. It's a full count now. Got away from Gassetti. So Keeschel's up to 3rd. Guillemette's up to 2nd as that one found the backstop. And Harwich is hurting here for 2 more outs. Big time.
In jeopardy of walking yet another man here in this inning. It's walked 2. This would be the 3rd.
Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. Down goes Logan Beard. And so that's his 2nd strikeout on the day. 2nd strikeout of the inning for Carl Hartman. He's now an out away from getting out of the inning. But Orleans is still threatening here, close to putting up double digits, as they have men on 2nd and 3rd. 2 gone. For now, Jacob Stinson, who is 0 for 2 on the day. He's been hit by 2 pitches. Both came back in the 2nd inning. Here's the pitch. That's in for a strike. Count is now 1-1.
Hartman not fretting to show any emotion out there. Loves whenever he can clock in with a strike.
That one popped up and out of play. That'll land over on Route 28. It's a 1-2 count. Hartman a pitch away now from ending the inning. Here it is. Pop back up out of play once again. Route 28 beware. We'll do it again. 1-2. Standing on deck, Cam Jones. He's had a great night, 3 for 4. See if he gets another crack at it or if Hartman's going to be able to end the inning. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, did he check his swing? Yes. Stinson stays alive. It's a 2-2 count now.
Got to find a way to get this third strikeout. Get out of the inning. Minimize the damage.
The pitch. Misses outside. Counts run full. Hartman. A turning point here. At risk of walking his third batter of the inning. Also on the verge of striking out his third batter of the inning. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. That ends the inning. Firebirds leave 2 stranded. We head to the top of the 9th. Mariners need something to happen here. Otherwise, their winning streak at risk of coming to a close. We head to the top of the 9th. We'll be back in a minute. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube network. Welcome back, top of the 9th inning. The Harwich Mariners are back up to bat now. It will be the leadoff batter and Will Haminer, who came in for Nick Goodwin in the leadoff spot. Came in back in the 5th inning. He's since gone 0 for 2. He'll take a first pitch strike from the new pitcher on the mound in Cole Reynolds. Reynolds on the season for the Firebirds. This is his 7th appearance of the year. He's pitched 13 complete. He's allowed 11 hits, 8 earned runs. He's struck out 11 to 8 walks. Next pitch is in for another called strike, and very quickly, Mariners down 0-2. Tommy Seidel and Brock Wilkin also up to bat in this inning for the Mariners. As Reynolds kicks and delivers. That misses well high. Count 1-2.
Hamner without a hit today. He came in for Goodwin. He's 0 for 2 with a strikeout.
Here's the pitch. Hamner checks his swing. It's now 2-2. Every out valuable at this point if you're Harwich and you're trying to stage a comeback. Can't necessarily afford for the leadoff man to go down. It's 2-2 count. Hamner stands in. Here's the pitch. Cracks it on the ground, right side. Fielded by Jones. He'll flip on to the covering pitcher in Reynolds, and there's one gone in the top of the 9th inning.
Nice play there to get all the way over to the bag. Foot race against a Hamner in left field who's been fast. Saw him make a diving catch. He busted up the baseline, but good cover by Reynolds, and there's one away in the 9th.
Tommy Seidel up to bat now. Seidel on the night. He's 0 for 3 with a walk. Got as far as second base back in that 3rd inning in which he walked. Was stranded there. Back in the 1st inning, he struck out, and then he's flown out to the outfield in each of his last 2 at-bats. On the night, the man who's on deck, Brock Wilkin, 0 for 3 as well. But a tough going for this top part of the lineup. Now a collective 0 for 11 with 3 strikeouts. Saw it happen once the other night where the Mariners were just shut down through the top of the lineup. Had an 0 for night through the first 4 batters. Really tough showing. Mariners have cleaned it up, part of why they went on that 6-game point streak. But that is all but set to be snapped here tonight, as the Mariners down to their final 2 outs now. Seidel fights that one off. Count here is 0-2.
Nothing doing. You're right. Nothing from the top 4. No hits. Some walks sprinkled in. 4 walks. Reach on an error, but you got to have more from the top of your lineup to produce.
Time's going to be called here. And it looked like Guillemette getting set. 0-2 count. Seidel stands in. Trying to extend the inning. Here's the pitch. Foul tip back into the mitt. Guillemette does a nice job holding on, and there's now 2 gone as Cole Reynolds has his first strikeout of his appearance here.
Brock Wilkin, the last life. It's been a long game. He's either going to be able to extend the rally or end the book, and Mariners can begin the move on.
Wilkin on the night, as mentioned, 0 for 3. He'll take a first pitch, and it misses down low. Count opens at 1-0. So yes, the Mariners, a 6:30 first pitch tomorrow. That's set to be over at home, as it's a 1-1 count now, as the Mariners dugout not all too happy with that last call. It's a 1-1 count now here as Wilkin thought he had ball 2. Did not, so says Garcia. That's hit on the ground left side. That'll be stabbed at by Furman. Unleashes onto first. And that's the ball game. The Orleans Firebirds, winners here tonight. 9-3, the final. Orleans, 9 runs on 9 hits and 1 error. Harwich, 3 runs on 5 hits and no errors. We take a break. We'll be back on the other side to break this one down. You're listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network. Welcome back inside Eldridge Park, the Harwich Mariners post-game show. The Mariners lose a tough one here tonight, a 9-3 final, as the Orleans Firebirds retake possession of third in the Eastern Division. Devin, a game in which the offense just was not clicking here tonight.
It really was not. There's not much more you can say. The pitching didn't show up. The offense didn't show up. A few positives here and there. You get David Smith with a multi-hit game, but other than that, just a forgettable one. You got to turn the page on it. Just hurts because it's the division team that you're battling for third place with. And now right after a huge win last night, you give it all back right there.
Yes, I mean, one of the few highlights you can take away if you're Harwich is the fact that Orleans did not score after the third inning. You were able to keep them scoreless across the final 5 innings of offense that they came out for. So that's a positive, but just too insurmountable a lead for Harwich to be able to come back against, and so they dropped this one by a final of 9-3. Mariners are back in action tomorrow, 6:30 first pitch against the Wareham Gatemen. That one's set to be, of course, at home against Wareham. We'll have to see if the Mariners are going to be able to rebound after what was a tough one here tonight. Devin, any final thoughts as we conclude our coverage here this evening?
On to Wareham.
And so with that, we'll leave you. Orleans 9, Harwich 3. I'm Tim Foley. He's been Devin Dobick. Thanks so much. You've been listening to the Harwich Mariners YouTube Network.